Hello, everyone. My name is Michaela, and I'm a project manager at Destination Makers. Thank you for joining us today. Destination Makers is one of the project partners. We particularly take care of communication and dissemination activities, and we are joining you from Italy. Just a few words about Destination Makers. Destination Makers is a boutique consulting company and a benefit corporation. We work closely to local communities to promote and design smart, sustainable, and creative and inclusive destination. We particularly take care of rural destinations and less known destinations. Today with us there is Greta Dallan, project coordinator and destination development executive. Just a few words to introduce her. She has coordinated several destination development projects for rural Italian destinations, especially in the north of Italy. She leads community engagement processes to structure the tourism offer, and she supports place branding processes. She also coordinated the development of several destination websites and the Gamified web app. The title of today is webinar is Gamification and Tourism, New Tools for Community-Centered Destinations. In the next 30 minutes, we will explore one key question: how can co-design with local communities through gamification support sustainable tourism, raising awareness and engaging both tourists and operators? Greta will present DKind, a gamified web app developed through a participatory process. So, Greta, thank you, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everybody for being here today, and thank you Destination Makers for inviting me to be a speaker in this webinar. As Michaela mentioned before, today we're going to talk about gamification and how we can apply gamification tool into the tourism sector. And in doing that, how can we engage the local community and why it is important to engage a local community in this process. In this half an hour, we dive deep into this topic. So maybe some of you are very much familiar with the topic of gamification, and maybe some of you are not. So I just want to share a quick definition just to have everybody on the same page. So what is gamification? Gamification is when you apply some game design elements into a non-game context. And so, for example, we have a museum, and while visiting the museum, they ask you to complete some missions or do some specific activities or visit some specific exhibitions to collect points and to get rewards. So the points, the rewards are all gamified elements that are applied into a non-game context, which is the museum. So why should we do that? And why should we do that in tourism sector? So we can use gamification in tourism to influence the traveler behavior. For example, if in a destination we have some areas which are overcrowded and some other areas which are unexploited, we can use the gamification to influence the traveler behavior and manage crowds. Then we can use the gamification also to improve the visitors' engagement with the local people, but also the way they engage with the destination. In some cases, we have situations where tourists believe the destination is just a nice landscape they can take pictures in, but actually the destination is a lively environment. And by using a game, we can get them to immerse more in the culture, in the tradition, and in the history of the destination, getting a more vivid experience. And then we can use the gamification to promote some places. So we can use gamification as a marketing tool, addressing it to a specific target audience to promote the area to the tourists we want to attract in. Today, I have the pleasure to talk about a project I've been coordinating, and it's a way to get more practical into this topic. The project is called DKind. DKind stands for Destination Kind, and Destination Kind has the goal of influencing tourists to be kind with the destination, which means taking care of the place that they're visiting, being respectful of the local people and the local environment, and being aware that when they travel in a specific destination, they have an impact in that place, and making sure that that impact that they have is a positive one. So this is the frame, this is the concept of the project. And the project is not just a game, it is a process where we want to apply gamification elements into the tourism context. And in doing that, we engage the local community. So in this project, the local community is at the core, and the main steps of the project involves like the community engagement. And this bottom-up approach has been very impactful to make sure that the game you design in a specific place can really have a positive impact and address some issues and needs that the destination may have. So, the steps of the project are three. The first one is the training sessions addressed to the local stakeholders. Then we have the game co-design with the community. And finally, we have the tourist engagement. So, as you can see here, the tourist engagement is just like the last part of the project and the outcome, basically, of this whole process. So the first one is the training sessions, and the training sessions are very important to engage stakeholders and get the community on board, and to share some common knowledge. And this knowledge can be about gamification in tourism, they can be about sustainability in tourism, they can be about improving services and experiences and how to communicate efficiently. So these are just like some examples of topics that can be touched in these training sessions. And like the training sessions are specifically useful for, especially for destinations which are not super developed. Because in that cases, when we talk about rural destinations, we have to take into account that the stakeholders we may find may not be that familiar with these kind of topics. And also, they may not be that like used to get together and talk about what kind of tourism do we want to attract in our destination. So this is not to underestimate, and it can be very crucial to get a team and to start working together. Um, yeah, and in this case, we applied our this project for the first time in Val di Sole, which is an area of Trentino region located in the Alps. And in that case, we've been very lucky because the DMO already did like several meetings with the local stakeholders. So the people we actually met were people used to talk about these topics. They were quite familiar with the topics, but yet the training sessions have been very much useful in this process. Then we have the second step, which is the game co-design. The game co-design is a very important part because in this step we do several meetings with the residents and also with the local stakeholders to listen to what the destination needs are, what are the issues that the destination may face, and how the game can address these issues that the destination may have. And also, the local stakeholders, to listen to the local stakeholders is important to understand the characteristics of the destination you're working with. So, for example, if it is a mountain place, you may have to consider that some areas are accessible, some other areas are not, or some you cannot propose some, for example, activities because they may be more difficult and not feasible for a wider audience. And in some areas also the phone can catch the line and in some other areas cannot. So they can tell you, look, in this place you cannot collect the points. So this is a very like basic thing, but very important in making sure that the game runs smoothly. So yeah, the meeting with the local people are like crucial to make sure that the game, first of all, making sure that the game has a positive impact in the destination and it addresses the necessities that destination may have. And second of all, engaging the local people into this process, getting them to cooperate and making sure that they will there when the game is running and they will help you to run the game smoothly. And this really impact the success of the game. So the third step is the tourist engagement. So how do we engage the tourist throughout the game? The tourists are engaged through in several ways, through quizzes, missions, badges, and rewards. The quizzes are used to educate the tourist on how to behave responsibly and how to implement good actions while in the destination. But also, quizzes can be used to immerse tourists more in the culture of the destination and make sure that they not perceive it as a nice landscape, as I was saying before. So quizzes can be about the local culture, the tradition, the history, to allow them to immerse more in the destination. Then we have the missions, and the missions are used to engage the tourist and make sure that they engage with the destination in the way we want to. So, with the missions are basically activities that we ask tourists to do, and we, for example, can use missions to direct the visitor flow, so make them going to specific places instead of others, and yeah, and also like foster the engagement of tourists with the local people. Through quizzes and missions, people can collect points and also can collect badges. The badges are online rewards that people can have when they do a certain amount of quizzes and missions. And badges are used to foster tourist commitment towards being responsible and respectful while visiting the destination. So, as we were saying before, this game it is into a project which is called Destination Kind, and the main aim of this project is to influence people to be kind with the destination and make good actions to have a good impact in the destination. So we use a positive reinforcement method to make sure that the goal is reached. And the positive reinforcement method means that we want to make people do good actions through quizzes and missions and prize the good action they do with badges and rewards. Yeah, the badges is to, as I said, to foster the tourist commitment towards this goal. And finally, the rewards. The rewards are physical prizes that the tourist can collect when they collect a certain amount of points. So this is also another way to reinforce the positive behavior they put in place while visiting the destination. So this is like the basic structure that then can be applied in several places. Of course, using the co-designing the game together with the local audience to make sure that the missions, the quizzes, and the badges and the rewards are doable in the place you're running the game. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we applied this project for the first time in Val di Sole, and we worked together with the local community, and we also the community engagement was at the core of the project. We really did a lot of meetings with them, and this was very much important to make sure that the game had run smoothly. And the game was quite successful. So we're happy to share that. The game was out for 107 days. And during this period, we managed to engage 1,400 tourists. who were playing the game during that period. And in that period, they completed a total number of more than 13,000 missions, and they bought more than 500 experiences. So for us, this was quite a success, and we're sure that this success is reached thanks to a good community engagement into this whole process. So, this is like all from my side. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. If you want to get more information about this project, you can go into www.destinationkind.com, which is the link you find here. If you're curious to know more about the game and the topics. And yeah, thank you for listening to me. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. I'm happy to respond. I'm here.
Thanks, Greta, for your inspiring session. Your story helped us to understand how new digital tools like gamification can be more closer than we might think. And sometimes communities have just to be guiding, supporting at the digital level. And so it's really important, the participatory process for developing a project like this. And if you want to know something more, also or exploring destinationkind.com, you can write all your questions in the chat. We will be happy to answer you. Don't be shy. And if someone waiting for someone, I just want to ask a thing, Greta, if you can give us three keywords for a gamification project in a rural destinations, just three input, three keywords you can
Yeah, first of
think about
all,
it.
okay, thank you, Michaela. Yes, so the three keywords, according to me, are really like studying the area that is very much important, um, engaging the community, and listening really to what they're saying, to make sure that the game is very impactful for the place you're you're working in. Um, so yeah, and make sure that the tourist is engaged as well. So making sure that the game is addressed to the target audience. So my three words could be like target audience, community engagement, and studying the area. I hope this is enough and answer your question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There is a question. Andrea Pauletti, my question. How do you understand that gaming is the right answer in a specific territory for developing tourism?
Okay, so that depends really on the destination and what the destination needs are. So you can use the game, for example, to manage crowds, to put the destination under the spotlight, and you can also get that while talking with the local community, because this game process is not easy to apply in a specific place. So, by talking with the local stakeholders, you can also understand if the destination is ready for developing this game, or if it is too early for them, because maybe they are so underdeveloped that they need to do some specific steps to get together, to be more um, like understand more the topics of gamification on tourism, and what kind of tourism do they want in their place, and what are the needs of the place. And according to that, you can understand if it is the moment to propose a game, or if it is too early for them. Also, like you can it's not necessary that the destination is super developed to propose a game, but it needs to be a little bit. Yes, I hope I answer your question, Andrea. And
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Greta. We have another question.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, there is a question from Emily. Yeah, you give us a very specific example of a mission.
So, considering the topic of taking care of the destination and be responsible with your behavior, a mission in a mountain place could be like while doing this trekking, you can collect the litter you find on the way. And this is this can be done practically in several ways. Like you can organize this mission in a specific period so that it is guided by a local person who brings the tourists and do this path, and they collect the litter so they can complete the mission. And by doing that, you can collect points. Or, for example, another mission which can make people immerse themselves more into the culture of the destination can be like go and visit that specific museum, which is maybe super beautiful but not yet but not yet famous. So you may have like a few people going there, but the place is actually super good. So through the game, you can direct people to go to that place and improve the number of tourists who go there. I hope I answer, Emily. If you have any question, please
There is
feel
another
free.
question. Thanks a lot, Greta. There is another question. One of the later slides mentioned experiences both. What specifically does it mean?
Well, Andretta, just a sec. Experiences both experiences. So because yeah, of course, thank you for the question. And in the game we applied in Val di Sole, as I mentioned, the Val di Sole is a very developed destinations, and they proposed some experiences that the tourists can buy. So there are missions that tourists could do for free, and some missions that are those experiences that are for sale. So the tourists need to buy that experience and do that. So the number that I mentioned before, more than 500, are the number of experiences that people bought while doing the game. Yeah, good. Yeah, that was feasible because, of course, the Val di Sole DMO was very developed and it has a system and a team running behind, and we were able to do that.
Thanks a lot, Greta. Thanks again. I just want to add, I think if there is something coming in your mind later, you can reach us and write us through our .rural chats. Emily, maybe yes, she wrote in the chat. And just wait 1 minute if there is someone, if we want to ask something else. Okay. Let me just thank you again, Greta, and all of you for joining us today.